started.
On this computer, so we are recording today. Is our last official Biz Chat for this series of catching up with all the excitement that the home office has for us. Today is, what is today? August 15th, no, 14th. 15th, mid-month. So let's get started. And I think one of the things that I was interested in that kind of was very intriguing at National Conference was the new host coaching section that they've completely renovated for us. And I was part of the original pilot when they started that, and that was probably about 5 months before he went to Hawaii. So I was part of that, and then as things progressed, I had to drop out because I had the Hawaii, and I wasn't, they were doing stuff and I couldn't participate. So I thought we would kind of dig into there. That's one thing that I would like to do. How about the rest of you guys? This is Technology Thursday, Tech Thursday. So is there anything else that you wanted to explore a little bit that we can put on the agenda?
I found out, yesterday when we were trying to add the Pampered Chef main page, once you Google it onto our phone, mine would not let me add it to my phone, and I have a Note 9. The only reason I can think it didn't add is because I have the app on it.
Oh, mine wouldn't add either. So.
Oh, well, now I feel better.
I don't know. What I'd do with that is I would just chat with tech support. That's easy, and you can kind of.
Well, yeah, that was my next. I was just wondering if it happened to anyone besides me.
I don't know.
Mine is, I have both on mine, and it's not a problem, so.
Yeah.
Me too.
Probably some kind of a setting.
Hey, Nancy, if we have time, we could, since you and I have been working on the Google Drive thing, we could share that a little bit if we have time.
Mm-hmm. Let's put that on there too. Sherry and I have been working hard on that for way too many hours. But anyway.
For the second time around.
Yeah, for the second time around. And it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be something that you could share with your teams to give them an outline on how to do virtual parties and get this all going, which is really helpful. But we're trying to make it as detailed as possible without overwhelming everybody. So anyway, yeah, let's share that.
Hey, Nancy, before we start, I think everybody likes quick tips. Alicia, why don't you share the one we just learned, even though we had to Google it about time?
Oh, okay. All right. So I was starting to make one of the new recipes in the deluxe cooker blender, and it called for fresh thyme. I didn't have any and couldn't find any. So we learned that if you want to use dry thyme, fresh thyme, whatever amount you need to use, 1/3 is equal to 1/3 of it in dried. So if you need a teaspoon fresh, use 1/3 of a teaspoon dry. That's going to help me out a lot.
See if
when you guys go to make the mushroom soup that's in the cookbook that comes with the blender, you'll need to know that too.
I have a quick tip for you too. This butternut squash soup that Sherry was saying was wonderful. It is very wonderful. I had to up the spices because I liked it spicier, but it calls for a dried apple, diced dried apple. I don't know. That's not something that ever in the Francis house. So I just added 2 dried apricots right into the blender, and it just gave it a little bit of a sweet taste, and I didn't put that in the add-in. So anyway, it was delicious. So FYI.
If you do Aldi has bags of dried apples.
Do they? Yeah.
And I just took like a handful and I dropped it in and sealed it up, and I think I'll probably be able to use it 3 or 4 times. But
where did you find that? Just with the produce? I've never seen that at Aldi.
It was in where the snacks are, where the nuts and the Mex things were.
Oh, okay.
Dried, that kind of thing.
Okay, great.
Quick tips.
Well, Nancy, let's talk about host coaching. Wait, is there anything else anyone wanted to bring up on this before? If we've got 2 things maybe.
Nope. Okay, let's go for it.
I'm interested.
Okay. First, has anybody used this yet? Before I screen share, has anyone used the new host coaching tool yet? Anybody?
Yes. I don't know. Maybe not.
Who said yes? I heard yes. Who said yes?
Me.
Who is that?
Jessica.
And it looks like Eileen has 2. So let's go ahead and start here. My parties and others. So I used it when it was in its infancy, and it was interesting to see how it's evolved, which is a lot. So I got to move this little screen here because it drives me crazy. Okay, so let's see. I'll go into this party right here. So you go into your party, and right here is host coaching, new, right? And you know what? Why don't Jessica? Can you? I'm thinking maybe we should have Jessica screen share. Are you on your phone, or can you screen share? Or do you?
I'm on my phone.
Okay. All right. Well, this is what it looks like right here. So, Jessica, you can see this. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So, give us a little rundown on what you're using it. Tell us a little bit more about it. As you can see, are you kind of going through the checklist right here?
Right. So it's kind of my first time using it, you know, but I have 2 different parties that I'm using it on right now.
Mhm.
And so whenever you complete the task, you just click on it and it goes away like that. And it goes into the completed file.
Okay.
So it's helpful because it's a reminder there that you're doing all the tasks that you need to do for your host coaching. And it also has an area where you can email your hosts. You can go to your cart. There's several different tabs at the top.
Email the host.
So I have kind of done them out of order, though. I noticed that I didn't do them in order. I don't know if that's a problem or not, but that's what's happening.
Did I get out of it? No. So very good. So from what I took the little class where what they were talking about is these aren't changeable at this point, but in the future they might be. And I don't know if they're going to fit your scheme, but I think they're general enough that you kind of go through this and it makes sense.
What's really nice is that at the bottom to the left, there is that notes section, so you can type, you know, whatever recipe you're going to use, whatever preferences that the host might have, you know, maybe what some of her big ticket wish list items are, and you just have something quick to reference right there, as well as you have all the links attached. So the ordering link, the Facebook link, and her dashboard.
Okay.
There's also, for host coaching, a few documents that you can find on Dash that is a checklist and something that was brought up in conference. There's a checklist for building a host packet as well for your new recruits or even you, like maybe you didn't know exactly what's supposed to be in a host packet, but it's a checklist that you can reference as well.
Good. So it looks to me like the things that I thought were really cool, thanks Jessica, that's awesome, was this host dashboard. I've always found that was so confusing to people. So you can copy the link, and like in the middle of like maybe 2 days into the virtual party, I'll message this link to her to say, go ahead and make sure that you created an account, and here's your host dashboard. But I asked them, do they have to, is it seamless? I mean, is it intuitive? And they said, yes, absolutely. So it will, if they don't have an account, before they can get anywhere, it'll say, step number 1, create an account. And then it goes into the dashboard. And it says, use the email address, that, you know, the same email address for the show. So that was like huge. That was really good. And this,
what, Nancy, can I say something really quick?
please.
I think it's really important. I know I'm just at the end of closing up these 4 virtual parties, and I'm asking the host to email or send messages to people who have not placed orders.
Mm-hmm.
And this time it seems like nobody has said to me, oh, well, who's placed orders and who hasn't? They could see it really easily, where when I did parties a month ago, like, I don't know who's ordered. How do I find out? And I'm just struggling to try to tell them. And I usually end up taking a screenshot. These are the people who've ordered. And it's just it was hard to get them to that dashboard. So I'm really thrilled about that.
So put a big star on this host dashboard and make sure that somewhere she's doing that or he's doing it. Go ahead.
Sorry, I actually called home office and they sent me directions on how to have your host create their dashboard, because I'd never done it before. So I really didn't know what directions to give them. The host checklist says, you know, make sure that you send them directions on how to do it. Well, I had no idea how to. So they typed it out for me, and I put it in a Word document so I could just send it to my hosts from now on.
Cool. Well,
there's also an email. There's a link that says host dashboard that you can send to your host, and you can also open up. It's right there for them.
Yeah, that's what this is.
And you can put that right into the note, the email you're sending them.
Mm-hmm. So that's a good point too. The other thing that I thought was kind of interesting with this is, let me see here. You can, down here, you can text directly to them. This was new. This wasn't in here.
Oh, that was my question.
Okay, so here it is. You know what? I have a, hold on. I'm going to go back to my parties. I think I have one of mine sitting around here. Here, it's my daughter's party. Okay, host coaching. All right. Text message before the party. Let's see, but this is an email. Hi, Jessica. Really love to pick a day and time where we can plan a phone call. This is all in there. This is like put in there. Okay. So let's see what the text message looks like. Same thing. Cool. So I guess I could send that to her as long as I have edit.
No, is that going to come from your phone number or from a anonymous number?
It would be right here. This is her cell phone number, so I would be texting it to here.
Right, but would it be received from your phone number?
I don't know. I would imagine so. It has to be if it's a text message, right? Or no, it could actually be received through an email and a text message. I don't know. Anybody know?
Do you text it from your desktop, or do you have to be on your phone to text?
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ready to send. Ready to pay. Let me see. Hold on. I got to move the thing for Zoom. Always open these types of links in the associated app. Open messages. Let me see what that does. I don't know, you guys. Boy, that's pretty for next month, for October, isn't it? Okay, so there's one thing. Apparently this is a really cool thing to take notes on. I think that's smart. Let's see, email the host. We can find the guests in the party. Look at that, add as co-host. That's interesting. View her order. Okay, don't know that one. Okay. New guest list.
With the new mobile-friendly guest list, you can see more information at a glance and add guests more quickly. On this screen, you'll see contact information for each guest. If they've RSVP'd, you'll see their response here, and you can see their order total on this page without having to open the show card. From here, you have one-tap access to the order, to edit their info, to add them as a co-host, or to remove them from the list. Plus, you can send a beautiful email from here.
Oh.
The email image will be the same one you selected for the party theme. There's a side-by-side preview of what the guest sees on their phone, and specific content for virtual and in-person parties. You can edit if you like. If you want to send an email to multiple guests, select them from here and start an email using this button. You can do all of this conveniently from your phone too.
So here we go.
Adding guests is fast and easy, and we autofill any info you've already entered into your contacts for that person. And you can quickly add another guest with the click of a button. Plus, from your phone, you can even call the guest directly from the phone number. by clicking here. You'll see a streamlined approach to co-hosting with the new guest list. Here's how it works. For the guest you want to add as a co-host, tap the menu next to their name and select Add as Co-host. This will make them searchable so that even if a shopper doesn't go right to the party link, they can search for the co-host in the Find a Party section of our website. You can also add the name of the co-host to the Hosted By field of the party page. Co-hosts can invite people by sharing the party link on social media or by texting or emailing the link to the party page, which is how most hosts invite now. The co-host has a regular guest cart, so their purchase will count toward the guest sales total and help get the host to the next level. Since there's only one host cart, the host and co-host need to decide together which items they want and where the order should ship. You can still enter more than one payment in the host cart, so each person can pay separately for their items if desired.
That's it? Okay. So that's interesting. I didn't even know all that was there. What do you guys think? Are you going to try it? Use it?
We
It's a lot
still
of new
have,
information.
It's a lot.
still have to find out, you know, if we choose text, for instance, Pampered Chef, I guess they have both of my phone numbers, but how do you make sure the text goes out from your cell number? I still have a landline, so, and that's what Pampered Chef has as my main number. I just have to, I'll call them and ask them.
Yeah, I don't.
Or change it. Just change it so it's all your cell phone.
Yeah, I could do that.
That's easy.
Or you could change it with Pampered Chef so that your cell phone is your contact number. That might be your best way to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I wrote this in the chat on the side, so I didn't forget, but I think with them making it so easy for us to email and text people, that if you don't have something ready to go to just plug in and send to them, then we still aren't going to be doing it. So you have what you want it to say, you know, either on your phone in the notes or in text replacement or wherever, or on your computer, you know, where you have saved things that you want it. So you don't have to sit there and make it up every time and make sure you have it spelled right and all that stuff. Does anyone have a good system for that?
Well, the good thing, Sherry, is it saves what you type in. So you could easily even go from the past show and just copy what was in there and then, you know,
But like
copy
the
it
thank yous,
from
yeah.
show 1 and then paste it in show number 2.
Yeah, you could do that. There's a lot of it there that's that way, but I was thinking of like thank yous to the guests, and you know, maybe that's the same too. That's good, Eileen. I haven't used it enough to know that. So
No,
I've done one show where my host used this and used the stuff what we have now, and it was great. She knew who had ordered, and she made her wish list. And when we went to close her show, she was able to just drop her wish list right into her show cart and then delete the item she decided not to get.
Yeah. It saves a lot of time, that's for sure.
I think Jessica was going to share something. Jessica, what was your idea?
Thank you. So there's something called OneDrive that you can sync. You can have those documents ready and available from your phone or from your computer. You can share those files so that you can just send it on over.
I need to figure out how to use that.
I actually like Google Drive. I mean, because that's kind of what Sherry and I have been diving into. And inside of Google Drive, there's a thing called Google Keep. It's really great because you can put pictures in there too. So the Google Keep is really pretty amazing.
Is that what you were just showing you were using when we were looking for?
Hey, you guys, if you want to see it, I mean, it's pretty amazing because it syncs with your phone. As long as you have Google on your phone, which we all do. Do you guys want to see it? I'll show you what I do. Okay. All right, here we go. So Terry Newberry told me about this, and it's pretty easy. Oops, what did I do here? I'm sharing and I'm not hitting the right share. Okay. All right, so you go into, let's see here. Hey, what's up here? This is, I got to get out of that. Okay. Okay, you have to go into Google. Here's Google. I have it bookmarked. Or my, all right, we'll go into Google like this. And it automatically, this is me. So this, I have an account with Google, and you have to have a Gmail address. Once you've done that, this is where you can store a bunch of stuff in Google Drive. And I think they give you 15 of something or other for free, which is quite a bit of storage. So this is where Sherry and I are actually working on. I might as well show it to them right now, and then I'll show you Google Keep. Okay, Sherry?
Okay.
All right. See this right here? This is Sherry and I are working on this. This has been a document. Let me see. It's a guide to successful virtual parties. So it's going to be for both of our organizations. And it basically walks you step by step on how to get started with virtual parties, what you need to know. There's videos in here. Like, for example, see, we're still working on it. The yellow stuff is the stuff that we're still working on. But these are links that actually will show you what to do next, like this one, for example.
To do, and by following their recommendations.
So I'm teaching you.
Because if you don't do it on your business page, there's a good chance that they'll kind of shut you down. So let me show you how to do that. Let's start by actually creating the party. Let's go into Consultant Connection.
That should be fun.
And hold on for a second. I have to screen share. Here we go.
So that's one of the things.
So
let's open up something that's not a video, Nancy.
Right. Okay. Here's
well, let's go down where we're working right now.
Okay.
We're almost done.
Right here?
I feel like I hear a radio or someone's TV on, maybe.
My husband probably has the TV too loud.
Oh.
Okay. Get that man under control. You want to go up here, Sherry, or you want to go down here?
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea with this one is once you have a party started and you want your host to be working on helping the engagement, what we did is we're giving you some ideas of what, well, you can just use them for what to do ahead of, like, while the party's going on. So, for example, I mean, we could, the 5 to 7 days before, you just open this, and then, like, if Alicia, you were in the middle of a party, you would say, oh, I'm going to go grab this picture and this message and send it to my host. So it's the consultant feeds this to the host, who in turn puts it on into the Facebook party or wherever. So her assignment on this one was to put this onto your, I think a little bit higher up, Nancy says what to do, right?
Right here. You're supposed to put on your wall right now. Include the picture or one of your own.
Yeah.
And it's
so
announcing her virtual party.
So if you go by that, any one of the host coaching documents that are in this too, it pretty much says when you talk to them, you say to them, I will have something for you to post every single day. So just watch for it and be prepared. So
that's what these are. Just
yeah.
To give you an idea. So we're walking through the whole thing. This one's a guide to this one. Everything in red is what the consultant, it's a message to the consultant. And then everything in black is what you're posting to the host.
Mm-hmm. And then there's some really detailed information if you want it.
But there's these hot links throughout the whole thing that you basically can share this document with your team, and it'll walk them step by step on how to do a virtual party. And now, of course, they have to change it somewhat, because if we all use the exact same messages, I mean, these are host coaching messages. They're not the script for the party. And
right.
We're going to talk about some tips here, just FYI, you need to know, and what puts you in Facebook jail. So this is here, we just did a Google survey today. I think Sherry was talking about this the other day. It's right there, it is. So it'll teach you how to do a survey form for your virtual parties. So this is basically virtual party stuff to make it easier for our organization. So once we get it all done, which we're almost there, we're going to roll it out soon. So what do you guys think of that?
I think it's great.
There it is.
I think that what we'd like to do is, I mean, it's going to take a lot of letting people know about it, because there are a lot of a lot of directors, a lot of consultants in all of our groups to say, okay, you've got a brand new person. What you need to say to them is, you're going to be getting these messages from Dash. Please do those. In fact, the most important ones are goal setting, your why, and your launch list. So do those, and we'll talk in 24 hours. And to give them this link that says the next most important thing is to get 4 parties scheduled. Let's get 4 virtual parties scheduled while you're planning your kickoff party that's live. And then we can bring them to this spot, and I can look at some of those things.
Yep. And we included, you know, that check sheet that we were doing, Alona, how to set up your business page. It's in here.
Yeah, we put this
links. So we've incorporated quite a bit. So that's the Google Drive. But what I wanted to show you is, if you go up here, you'll see these little things, and Google does all sorts of stuff, calendar, et cetera, et cetera. But if you scroll down or you hit more, there's this thing called Keep right here. And this is really cool because I like how you can color code stuff. Okay, look at this. And again, it's mobile friendly, so they line up for you. So for example, this is my Google Drive drawing set for my virtual party. This is, I've color coded all the stuff that I have to do before the party in light, in light yellow. For example, here's the description that I would put in the about section of the group. This one is, how do I request a phone call? Hey, Jessica, I'll be setting up a party on my website. I'm looking forward to your party on the 13th. I need to connect real quick over the phone to give you some details. Are you available, or what's going to work for you? Here's Trina's script that I can actually click into. And then, so all these yellow things are like I set up. And then this stuff, the gold ones are the days. Here's my first host coaching. Where are you from? USA and beyond, all this. And this is what I messaged to her. So it's all there. And the cool thing about it is that you can copy like this, copy image. And then I'm on a Mac, so I can do this really quickly. But I could go over here to KC and paste it. And there, and then I can go over here and just go like this. Please post this the morning of your party. Oh, here, let me click it in.
Hey, Nancy.
Yes?
From what we learned earlier, with the 3 little dots, what are your other options? Can you take the whole message?
I don't know. I might be able to. We just learned that today. Hold on.
Yeah.
So I was doing this, copying it, and then going over to my, where to go? Okay, you know where I'm talking about. But we just learned this.
Oh, yeah.
Copy to Google Docs, grab text, grab image text.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Make a copy. How about make a copy? Does that take all of it?
No. Thumbnail. Let's see what it does. All right, hold on. Here, I'm going to do it to you. I don't want to send it to Casey.
Okay.
Hold on.
I don't know how you do it with so much open. Oh my gosh, Nancy. Does anybody else do that?
Well, when you're on a Mac, you can do it because it's, all right, hold on.
You can do it on a PC too, but I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
No, me either.
Paste. Well, there's the image.
It was just the image. Okay.
I think the text image, I think that's just making you another thing in Keep.
Okay. So
Because you're copying it to Keep.
I need to look at Keep. That's pretty cool.
Because it's cool. I mean, because it's all there, and I put all sorts of stuff in here.
So are there 4 columns, or it's just one long column that you've kind of scrolled like a snake?
It just throws them in there according to the last one that you made.
Kind of like Pinterest.
Yeah, I think so. And if you're on a phone, they roll down. That's why the color is so important. Like, for example, this is a commission check that we did right here. So if I want to, color this, let's say I'm going to color all the commission checks blue. That's the commission check here. That's what you can do. So they're easy to find by color coding stuff.
And over here under labels, it's almost like folders.
Edit labels.
I would need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, is that a folder, Alona?
It's essentially the same thing.
Looks like
Kind of. I mean, but then you can just click it, and it's going to take you to all of those. Don't delete.
no. Looks like I was trying to do something.
Yeah, I don't know what you were trying to do.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's really a cool place to put stuff. And you can also share it on your Google Drive. So, I mean, it's
Right.
so anyway, that's just an idea if you want.
That's nice to know. I'm gonna try that.
It's very nice to know.
Jessica has a question. I can see by the look in her eyes.
So just to kind of couple up on what you're doing there, I really like that. So what Stephen was doing is he will take those pre-recorded messages and schedule them into his calendar according to wherever the host lies that day. So he'll wake up, and so all he has to do is copy and paste that into a text message or however he's communicating with them. So he will just plug in like those templated messages you have there, Nancy,
Right.
and he just copies them right into his calendar, so he knows exactly what's supposed to go to his host that day.
So he would basically do this. I mean, more or less, this is what he's doing. I would go in here. I don't know what happened to my little picture. I just screwed that up. But okay, so he would go in here and he would copy it, right? And then again, he uses an online calendar. Here's mine. I use an iCalendar, but the Google Calendar is the same thing. And let's say I have to post this tomorrow for this gal, right?
Yep.
Go in here maybe at, I don't know, 7 o'clock in the morning and create something like this. Host, coaching, post. And then he would go into the notes like this, and there it is. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I would title it with whatever number you need it to.
Day 1 or day 2 or.
Yep.
Okay.
Huh.
And I would probably put like what host it needs to go to.
Yes, exactly. You need to identify it that way too, but exactly just like that. That way it's scheduled, you know exactly what, and then you can copy and paste from your phone. You know, you don't necessarily have to be at your computer.
And you can also set a reminder. Let me
Yes.
alert, this one. So it'll alert me at 7 o'clock. I don't know what it does, but I don't use that very much, but a lot of people do. So anyway, there you go.
I just got tickled because I thought if we get all this technology figured out, maybe we won't have to do anything. Our computers and our phones will do it all for us.
So, how do I get my map back? Anybody?
Is anybody else overwhelmed by all this? I mean, just seeing how Nancy flies around into all of those files and everything, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming. I even started my own template, like Sherry and Nancy are working on. I even started my own for my own host coaching. That way it's in my own words and everything, just kind of following what Dash is wanting us to do. But it's still overwhelming. Yeah.
But pick one thing. Don't let it overwhelm you. Pick one thing that you want to work on the computer, you know, to get it down pat before you go. Because if you do too much at one time to try to figure it out, you're probably not going to figure it out.
Yep.
It can just be too much, and then you just put it to the side.
You really have to figure out where you're going to put your stuff, because you've got to have a place to put it, whether it's in Keep or Google Drive, or if you just make a Word document and just load it all up there, right? But if you don't have a place to put all this stuff, you're all you're like flipping all over the place.
Well, and I'm sorry, I don't know what you guys said while I was muted for a minute, but I think like Nancy and I mostly figure this out by being on Zoom together and opening and closing things. So I think if you're, and that maybe Alicia, you and I need to do that a little more and just start to open and close and like, okay, here's this and here's that. And
if you need help with Google Drive, Ashley is your go-to. She has been to Google seminars.
Really?
And she's a Google instructor, whatever. She's done some Google instructions. Yeah. So she's a Google rep at the school.
Huh. I would almost rather do that kind of training than maybe some of the other things that are out there, like teach me how to use Excel, teach me how to use Google, some of these things that we use on a daily basis. That's a great idea.
How I learned it is like I was asking my daughter, and she said, Mom, just Google, go on YouTube and Google how to use Google Drive. So that's exactly what I did about 2 months ago. And there's a 15-minute video. You know, you look at how many stars are on there or how many hits it's gotten, and just watch it. But the thing you have to do is, in my opinion, is that you've got to carve out that time and say, I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to give myself 2 hours, and I'm not going to be distracted by anything else, and I'm going to learn this. Because if you don't do that, it's hard, because everybody's coming with a different thing. They're coming into technology in a different way. So your point, Alicia, is really well said. But that's what I did, and because YouTube teaches you everything. And then I said, okay, now I know how to use a Google Drive. How do I make a Google Keep? And it was really quite easy after that.
Which I haven't even done yet. I don't know anything about that, so.
Yeah. Anyway, just an idea, another idea, but maybe we can get Ashley to help us sometime.
Yeah.
Here's a thought. You know, we were talking about doing these calls twice a month next, you know, going forward. To me, this would be a really great thing to do, is to have someone say, okay, I'm going to help you guys learn just the basics. So maybe doing this that coincides with our business, opposed to like, I mean, we've got webinars and stuff like on Dash, the company's doing. So instead of us doing another call on that, learn like how to do this Google Doc stuff, right? So now we can take what the company's giving us and make it so it's easier to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Finding a place. Yeah.
Right. So that, because I think the technology end of it, we've got to all learn, but there's so much, you don't even know where to start. And my son is just like Jessica. Chris goes, Mom, you Google it.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
And the good thing about Google Drive is it doesn't matter if you're working on a Mac or a PC.
Right.
And, you know, you could, Eileen, you and I could develop a document and we could assign ourselves different colors to communicate back and forth.
Exactly.
And the document, you could say you can't change it, or somebody else can add stuff to it.
Yep, that's what Sherry and I just figured out recently. But it really, so I guess really, Sherry, well, she's not there. Moving forward, we're using a Google Drive. So for us to roll it out to the entire our organization, you've got to be somewhat familiar with a Google Drive. So we will definitely put some of that in there, because it's not difficult to use, but you do have to sit down and just figure it out. And maybe Sherry and I need to find the YouTube video and say, okay, here's your assignment, everybody. Watch this and get your Google Drive set up, because it's not hard if you're watching it. I think it's hard if somebody's trying to tell you over the phone how to do it, right?
Absolutely, and particularly if you're a visual.
Yeah.
Well, what maybe then would be an idea is, like, if we decide to have Ashley help us with this, one of the assignments would be, we're going to do it this day, give people a week notice or 2 weeks notice going. This is the link of the suggested YouTube to watch, so that when you come in, it's going to make sense. And then when we share that call with it, we attach, before you listen to this 45-minute training where we got into details of how to use it in a Pamper Chef business, if you're not familiar, watch this 15-minute YouTube, because it'll make sense to you.
And when we roll this out, that's a good point, because I think people have to come in with some kind of knowledge. And because it's hard to take, I mean, even though when we do these retreats, it's really hard to teach technology, because everybody's coming in with some basic level and some advanced level. And so if we can get them all kind of at least have a drive set up and understand how it works, what Lolona just explained, that might be a good idea. You know, good idea. All right, thanks for sharing that, Eileen and Lolona. Okay, let me see here. So, who's willing to try the host coaching? The new host coaching experience. I am too. Right now. I'm kind of using just an Excel spreadsheet to some extent, but I think I think with the Google Keep and that, I think that's probably how I'm going to start host coaching, because if I can get it off my phone and copy and paste, that's pretty easy. Yeah. All right. So you guys, today is the 15th and mid-month. Yay. I know Jessica has a new consultant. Yes, right. Yay, working towards the luggage. Anybody else have signed up? Anybody this month? Not yet. Okay, get out there and find some folks. All righty. Well, it is 4:41. I'm going to go ahead and close this down, and we will get back to you guys on some other ideas. I've got to jump in live and do some kind of a recipe demo. I'm going to make beef bourguignon. Oh, bad.
That's my house.
I'll probably be getting that soon.
Yes, you will. You better get your video done.
Yeah, that's right. I'll probably lose the power. Got to go to the grocery store first. Okay, let me see.